Young.
All right, and for the state,
Kavita Sharma for the state, Your Honor.
court will note that the non-custodial parent, fathers Devontae Collins, Mr. Collins was personally served on April 13th, 2021 at 12:45 p.m. at 1200 Baker Street in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He's not filed an answer or appeared. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
He was given further notice of the Zoom hearing, which was delivered June 21st, 2021 at 11:41 a.m. So he is not checked in. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Yes, Judge. I would like to call Tatiana Young.
Okay.
Miss Young, how old is your son, Josiah?
9 years old.
And who is the father?
Devontae Collins.
Has Mr. Collins ever denied that he was the father of Josiah?
No, ma'am.
Have you ever lived with Mr. Collins as a family unit with Josiah?
No, ma'am.
Have you had intimate relations with anyone else during the time of conception?
No, ma'am.
And what is the date that you previously tried to obtain child support on Mr. Collins?
I'm sorry.
Okay, let me back up. How old is Josiah?
He's 9 years old.
And what are the dates that you previously tried to obtain child support on Mr. Collins?
Since Josiah's been born. So
Okay.
I wouldn't know an exact dates, but I'll say since 2012 of March.
And you have not been successful in getting that child support in the past, correct?
No, yeah, that's correct.
Okay. As far as conservatorship, we discussed joint managing conservators. Do you believe that to be in the best interest of Josiah?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
As far as joint managing conservators, we discussed this with him having access to the child health, educational, medical records. Do you believe joint managing conservatorship is the best interest in Josiah between the two parents?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
And you would be the possessive parent with geographic restrictions to Harris County as far as where Josiah lives. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, moving on to possession and access. When was the last time Mr. Collins saw Josiah?
January of 2020.
And has Mr. Collins ever had overnight visits with your son in the past?
In the past, yes, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns with overnight visits moving forward?
Yes, ma'am, most definitely.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit more about why you have concerns?
There is a no contact order in place of me and Josiah Young with Devontae Collins. There was a domestic violence dispute, and Josiah was involved inside the domestic violence dispute. So with that, I do have concerns as far as overnights.
Okay, and despite that protective order in place and conditions of community supervision, which Mr. Collins is on now, you still believe that Josiah should have a relationship with his father?
Yes, ma'am, most definitely.
And do you prefer that those visits be supervised and held at the domestic relations office in Harris County until the expiration of those probation conditions?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. As far as child support is concerned, do you know if Mr. Collins is working at this time?
He's not. No.
Has he provided any financial support toward Josiah over the past 9 years?
No, ma'am.
Is he currently incarcerated?
No, ma'am.
Has he been in jail that you know of in the past for more than 90 days?
No, ma'am.
Do you know if he has any other children that live with him or that he provides support to?
He has other children, but no, ma'am, none of them live with them.
Okay, so because we have no other information regarding wages, do you believe that a minimum wage presumption would be in the best interest to calculate support in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And is your child covered under health insurance at this time?
Medicaid, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you asking the court to order that Mr. Collins pay child support based on a 20% guideline in the amount of $205 beginning August 1, 2021, and we are using the minimum wage presumption again on this?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to order Mr. Collins pay $113 a month in cash medical support for Josiah?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as retroactive child support, we're going to go back 4 years from April 9th of 2016 to July 9th of 2021 for support. During this time, we have no wage information from Mr. Collins, and we've calculated child support, retroactive child support, in the amount of $13,120. Are you asking the court to order that judgment against Mr. Collins, with him paying $116 a month toward that back support?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking the court to order court costs be billed to Mr. Collins?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe that all of these conditions and terms are in the best interest of Josiah?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you also asking the court to find the publication of your information would cause harassment to you or the child in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I have no further questions for this witness.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Young, you can hang up. Have a good day. Unless you have any other questions, feel free to log back into the prior Zoom meeting. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is a cruise matter, Ms. Mitchell?
Yes.
All right, this is cause number 2021-04359 in the interest of Eliana and Jacob Cruz. All parties, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
Angela Lucia Rangel, I'm the mother.
All right, for the state.
Kira Mitchell.
And the court will note that the non-custodial parent, father, is Wilfredo Cruz. Mr. Cruz was served on April 6, 2021 at 8:48 a.m. at 5802 West Montgomery Road in Houston, Harris County, Texas. He was also, and he's not filed an answer. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
He's given further notice of the Zoom hearing by certified mail, return receipt requested, which was delivered at 4:02 p.m. here June 21st, 2021. He is not checked in. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
We'll proceed by default.
Okay. The state would like to call its first witness, Ms. Rangel. Ms. Rangel, can you please state your name?
Angela Lucia Rangel.
What are the names of the children in this case?
Eliana Angelique Cruz, Jacob Freddie Cruz.
Okay. Are you currently married?
No,
And were you married when either of those children were conceived?
no,
Do you remember Mr. Cruz signing an acknowledgement of paternity for both children?
yes, I do.
And are you asking the court to establish the parent-child relationship between Mr. Cruz and Eliana Cruz?
I'm sorry, you were breaking up.
Are you asking the court to establish a parent-child relationship between Mr. Cruz and Eliana Cruz?
Yes,
And are you also asking the court to establish a parent-child relationship between Mr. Cruz and Jacob Cruz?
yes,
With regard to conservatorship, are you asking the court to grant a joint managing conservatorship in which you would be named or designated as the managing conservator with exclusive right to designate the primary residence of the children?
yes, I am.
Okay. With regard to visitation or possession and access, are you asking the court for a standard possession order?
Yes.
Are you asking that you all do pickup and drop-offs at the Burger King located at 5605 North Shepherd Drive, Houston, Texas 77091?
Yes.
With regard to child support and medical support, do you know if Mr. Cruz is working?
Yes, I do.
What does he do? What type of
He
work?
does flooring.
Okay. Do you have actual knowledge as to how much Mr. Cruz earns?
He either makes equal as me or more. We both do the same work.
Okay, so you do flooring as well?
Yes.
Okay. How much is your monthly gross income?
Around 4,000.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Cruz has any other children besides the 2 children in this case?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. And so based on the monthly gross that you make, that you believe Mr. Cruz is making, we've been able to determine that child support should be set at $779 a month. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you asking this court to order that Mr. Cruz pay you $779 a month for child support starting August the 1st, 2021 and every month thereafter?
Yes.
Okay. How are your children covered for health insurance?
Medicaid.
Okay. We were able to determine for a cash medical, Mr. Cruz should be paying $240 a month. Is that correct?
Yes.
Asking this court to order Mr. Cruz to pay you a cash medical support in the amount of $240 a month starting August the 1st, 2021 and every month thereafter.
Yes.
Are you asking for retroactive child support?
Yes, I am.
We were able to determine Mr. Cruz should pay $24,149 for retroactive child support for the dates of January 1st, 2019 through July 19, 2021. Is that correct?
Yes.
Miss Rangel, did you ever live together?
We did.
And when did you leave? Or when did you separate?
It's been a little over 5 years.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you asking the court to order that Mr. Cruz, or rather to grant a judgment against Mr. Cruz in the amount of $24,149?
Yes.
And are you asking for that he be ordered to pay that amount in a payment plan, basically for $170 a month starting August the 1st, 2021 and every month thereafter?
Yes.
Okay. With regard to any uncovered health care expenses, are you asking that you to be ordered to split those costs 50-50?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay. Now, has there ever been any family violence between you and Mr. Cruz?
Yes, there has been.
What has occurred?
From what I remember, there's 3 occasions that I remember. One was before my son. He did slap me and I filed for family violence. I pressed charges. Second was he pulled a gun out on me. Third was him busting my windows while I was inside the car.
And so are you asking for your address not to be disclosed in this order?
Yes.
Okay, but you do not have any concerns with Mr. Cruz taking the children for the weekends, is that correct?
I do not have any problem.
Okay. Do you believe Mr. Cruz should be ordered to pay court costs as billed in this?
I do.
Okay. And do you believe this order would be in the best interest of your children?
Yes.
Are you asking the court to grant this default judgment against Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
I have no further questions of this witness. Your Honor, I pass the witness.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you.